Here we are. I'll fix this pin. This was the pin that's broken. This pin still seems to be good. I'd use a clamp to push this pin in. When these pins crack or break, it allows the fluid from the outside, when you go to retract them in, it allows the fluid from the outside to go to the inside and it pushes it out. So then this one, since it's still good, it pushes in. But that's how those, when they fail, they always fail and they stay out. I got a new barrel, new pin, the gasket, snap ring, basically the whole thing. And this is what happened last time. It sheared off at the piston. And these are all the seals from last time too. So I'm going to clean all this dirt out of here. Then we'll pull the snap ring. I got to heat this up because it's got bearing retainer compound on it. Then I'll pull the barrel nut out. When I finally got it out, I had to heat it up quite a bit, but I don't see anything yet. That might be a crack there, but we'll get it apart and take a look. All right, it definitely is cracked. You can see that in there. Yeah, it's definitely cracked. So we'll tear this apart. It feels like I got to beat the piston out, so if that's the case, I am going to have to put a new barrel in it, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so it is cracked. You can see the shiny metal in there. And where it's cracked at on the outside, it's going to be real tough to see, but it's basically right here in this, it almost looks like a square cut. If it's got a radius on it, it's real minute, and this really needs to be a larger radius to help transmit some of the stress from this pin out. And it's basically a terrible design. I think if you're going to do something like this, then this piston needs to be the entire length, or you shrink down the God, man, that thing is still flipping hot. Or you shrink down the spring size to where it can be a solid tube or a solid bar all the way past where the stress point is on that radius. Alright, so this is a new one here, and you can kind of see how far down that spring, it's, you know, 1.5 inches, that spring goes in there. And if that, you know, if they could figure out some way to just make the spring only go maybe to like this lip, you know, you put a bunch of stress on this, on that little area there, and it appears to be square cut. It looks square cut to me. And if I were to machine this or design this, it would have a larger radius, because on your nut, on your barrel nut, there is really no sealing surface, and I think you could radius this and radius this to make a change and to increase the strength of this part. So the inside of this barrel does not look terrible. You know, just more so wear, and where all these things are beat over. This is when I took it to Bobcat and they were going to change the snap ring. They had to beat it back in. So I think I might just go ahead and throw the new one in and just keep this as a backup in case anything silly happens. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and throw a new one in. Alright, so on these lip seals, you got one side that's open, the other side's closed. Same with this one. You know, there's like a O-ring kind of thing that's open. So the open port goes to, or the open side of the lip seal always goes towards the pressure. It's when the pressure hits this, it expands and helps it seal a little bit better. Then that's a backup ring in there. Then this is another backup ring. So we'll put all this together and get the machine back together. Now I got the new one packed together, put back here. Couple things on this backup ring here. This backup ring right here, there is a flat side. Zoom in. This is the flat side, and the other side is a groove side. I don't know if you can see it on the edge profile there. Yeah, you can. So the groove side goes towards the O-ring. The groove side goes towards the O-ring, so the O-ring can mate into it. So there's that one. These lip seals here, if you see the lip, these go towards the outside of the barrel. So the pink one goes on the bottom, the open part goes towards this side, and on this one, the black part goes towards the open side, goes towards the outside. So so how these work is they go in like this. That pink seal is on the inside of here, and the black seal is on the inside of here. The black seal is to keep the dirt out. The red seal is to keep the dirt or the oil in. So this is how the barrel and the pin go in. This is where the O-ring and backup seal go, or the backup ring go. Then the black flange seal, or whatever you want to call it, goes up here. The pink one goes back here. The pink one's to keep the oil in between this area here, because when this is in here, the oil hydraulic pressure gets injected in between that and it sucks it in. Then when you press out, hydraulic pressure comes on this side and pushes the pin out. So the pink seal is to keep the oil in, so the open side faces towards the oil. The black side, the black ring, is to keep the dirt out, so that seal is faced, towards the outside. And ideally, if everything's working correctly, you should see no oil on the inside of this housing. Hosing this thing down with brake parts cleaner. Make sure before you put this back together, this pin is out, because if it's in and you push it in, that spring will push it out, then you got a bunch of fluid that comes out of here. You want this as clean as possible, because we're going to put some bearing retainer compound on it. Get this all nice and clean, and we'll get all the brake fluid out of here, and then we'll come back and put some, this is what I'm using, 638 bearing retainer compound. So we'll put this on these threads here, and we'll put them on the internal threads right here, and we'll send this thing home as fast as possible. Because once this is I think it's called anaerobic. It's in the absence of air is when it sets up. Alright, I got this thing super clean. Now we're going to apply some bearing retainer compound. And we're just going to apply that here. Apply it liberally. We'll put our spring back in. This has already been cleaned off. So we'll put our spring back in. Then we'll apply our bearing retainer compound here. We'll apply it here, and then we'll send this thing home. Now we got it back in here, and we'll clean up some of this compound that has squeezed out of here. We'll give this a little bit to set up, and we'll be good to go. Now we got it in, snap ring in. They sucked in, they're staying in. So we got this fixed, and I'll order another barrel pin and all that stuff so I can have one on hand. Because when these things break, it's a pain in the butt. The last time I did it, I kept using that F-style clamp to push these pins in, and eventually the pin actually sheared off. If I can find, so this part here, the pin actually broke off where it's cracked on the inside. It broke off right here. So this is typically where they shear off. I haven't seen them break up here unless you're really using the bucket as a jackhammer, but they generally shear off here. But this pin's garbage. And this could possibly be reused. Obviously that's garbage. Then all these seals are trash. We'll put all these in our used seal bag here. And we'll have to get some new pins here. And they typically fall out or break when you tighten them up. So I would buy the tool. For as much as I do this, I should buy the tool. But the tool for a piece of metal and 4 pins is like $200 something. So it's just easy ordering. You can get 5 pins for like $4 or something like that. So if this keeps happening, I just got to pay attention to what buckets I use. But if it keeps happening, I might just switch everything over to the pin grabber and get rid of this, because frankly, it gets annoying.